You call me Mr. Perfect.
Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello and welcome to another episode of Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. I'm your host, Steph. This is episode 47. Today on our Perfect Podcast, we're going to watch along to Curt's match with Lex Lugar on Monday Nitro. I love this match because I have a picture of Curt smiling. I believe Luger might have told him a joke while they were wrestling. But before we start, please join me on my YouTube and Rumble channels where if you like what you hear, you can subscribe, comment, like, and share so we can grow these channels. The links for both will be in the description field below this video. Rumble viewers will see me watch along to Curt's match with Luger, while my YouTube viewers will hear the audio only. I will edit what I need for YouTube, but if you would like to see the video instead of only hearing the audio, hop on over to Rumble today. The link for my Rumble is down in the description field. If it's not clickable, please copy and paste it into a web browser. I would like to give a shout out and a thank you to my paid Patreon supporter, Charlie Brown Politics. Thank you, Charlie Brown, for your support. If you too would like to support my show for as low as $1 a month, please click the link in the description field below this video to become a paid Patreon supporter today. You will also get your name read on the show. For $3 a month, you will get your name read on the show, and you get to ask me a question which I will read and answer. For $5 a month, you get all this plus an exclusive behind the scenes of how I do my show and a blooper reel. For $10, you get all this and access to a live Patreon show where you get to learn more about me. So please click the link in the description field below this video to sign up today. Please help me to reach 100 followers on Rumble. All links will be in the description field below these videos. You can now follow me on Locals for free. If you would like to support this show, you can for just $2 a month. Thank you for your support. Hey guys, okay, so we're back from the beginning. Sorry, but that has to be audio. You probably will also hear some shameless plugs at the end. I do that just because I'm used to doing it. So there will be like a beginning and an ending with shameless plugs. But uh, welcome to episode 47. I'm really excited to do this because you guys get to see my pretty little face. And we get to do something that I've never really done before. So this is kind of new to me too. I'm actually going to show some interviews with Curt first, and then we will go into something that I saw on X. And I asked the owner if I could use it. He said, absolutely, yes, I can. So I mean, I was shocked when I heard it. So for all those on Rumble, you actually get to see what's going to happen, and you get to actually watch the video of Lex Luger and Curt Hennig with me. You are more than welcome to watch it along with it with me. But if you just want to watch the match via, the fact that I'm going to actually show it, that's fine too. For everyone on YouTube, you guys will only hear the audio. So just be on the lookout for that. That if you do want to see my pretty little face and you also want to watch along with the video, you'll have to come over to Rumble. So I'm very excited because, like I said, I've never done this before. And I mean, this is a new experience for all of us. So let's get started, shall we? So the first thing we're going to watch along to here is it's a Portland excuse me, a Portland interview, and it's like Curt when he wants to be, the next Portland champion. Um and then I have oops, wanted to remove that one. Okay. So I only have like 4 of them and they aren't that long. They're about a minute or 2 minutes long. So um I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So this first one is just like a Portland one. Like I said, I just like how he says, want to say a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Okay. Just the way he talks and, presents his promo. but first he has to, say a good Mother's Day to everybody. So, kind of cool. This is from 1982, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna go ahead and hit play here. Now there is like a little bit of a commercial, but it's okay.
All right, on Tuesday, Andre the Giant will be back here, either in a battle royal or a special match. We'll be finding out later. But a week from tonight, this young man gets his shot at Rip Oliver for the Northwest Heavyweight Championship, Curt Hennig, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you all the people. First of all, Frank, I would like to take time out to thank all the people in Portland and surrounding area for coming out to the matches and having a good time. And second of all, I'd like to wish all the mothers out, wherever they may be, tomorrow a very nice Mother's Day, okay? Now, something serious we got to take care of right now. Curt Hennig's been in the Northwest now, Frank, a number of months. I've been working my way up. My father's been here. I've wrestled the best of them. I've had good matches with all of them. I've worked my way up now. Don Owen gave me a title match with Rip Oliver. Rip Oliver in the past has hurt my ribs, have had my father come in here. We've beaten him before. I've beaten him before. And I feel this time I have a chance now on my own to meet Rip Oliver one-on-one by myself in a title match. Frank, to me, it's a dream that I've worked for. I've been here. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to be the champion, and now I got my chance, and there's not going to be any stopping me. Mr. Oliver, Curt Hennig is here. Next Saturday night is the title match, and you're going to see a new champion.
Curt Hennig, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Curt.
So I just want to make some comments about this. This is actually one of the greats, I think. When he was in Portland, he you could tell he had the brown hair. Of course, it was short and curly. He wouldn't have longer hair till he was in the AWA and he was champion. So you're gonna see some of that because the next one we do, he literally does have the blonde hair. So, but I like this one. Like I said, you could tell the Minnesota accent that he has. A nice Mother's Day. Okay. Great promo from Curt here. Yeah, his dad did have a couple of matches with him in Portland. They also had matches in the AWA. So it's really quite, amusing, and it was a great promo. I like it, like, when he just, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Okay, so the next one, this one is, the Portland. I'm gonna actually, in case there's like a commercial or something. Yeah, see, it goes right into commercial because, I mean, this is, this is YouTube, so, okay. And if you guys can't hear this, it definitely should be up all the way as much as it can be. So, okay, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tuesday night, February 16th at the Portland Sports Arena is indeed a Tuesday night special. An entire slate of main events, top to bottom, make no mistake about it. And at the very head of the night, at the very top of the billing, a battle for the heavyweight championship of the world, which is as it should be. Curt Hennig won the title, defending it all over the world, and now right here in Portland, he must face what I consider his greatest test. And Curt Hennig, I'm going to put it to you point blank. The Grappler is mean. He'll do anything to win your title.
Well, that's exactly right. And on February 16th, the heavyweight champion, Curt Hennig, is coming to town. He's coming back to where he got his start. Larry Nelson, that is the place where I got my start in professional wrestling. And promoter Don and Barry Owens, I would like to take my hat off to them and thank them for giving me the opportunity to travel to the great Pacific Northwest and defend that belt. Now, Grappler, if you're still the champion on the 16th, you're the man I'm looking for. You see, I travel from corner to corner of the United States, and I go to the Middle East, and I go to Japan. I go throughout the world defending that belt. And now I'm coming to Portland, Oregon to prove to the world that I am the greatest wrestler in the world, and I am the man. I am the heavyweight champion of the world. Now, a lot of people in the past have come up to me and said, Curt, you've changed your style. Maybe you're a little bit more aggressive. Are you a bad guy? Are you a good guy? The answer is very simple, my friends. I'm a great guy. And all I got to do now is clean up some of the garbage in the Pacific Northwest like I've been doing throughout the country. This is going to be the greatest night of wrestling in the last couple of years that Portland, Oregon has ever seen. It's a wrestling extravaganza. It's a Portland special. And topping off the list, the return of me, Curt Hennig, the heavyweight champion of the world. If you people want to find out what championship quality is all about, you come down and see what the champ's all about.
Yeah, so again, this is just okay. So, sorry about that. I guess I'll have to cut that out. Well, for YouTube anyway. But so yeah, that's really I had shown that. Well, I gave it to Angel, so you guys probably remember that and stuff. So it's not too much different, but pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool that literally, I just like the fact that he goes, oh, Curt, you've changed your style. People come up to him and said, you changed your style. Are you a bad guy? Are you a good guy? And he says, well, I'm definitely a good guy. Um, so this next one is I think it's a great one because he literally talks about getting his belt back. And well, and what I want to say about the other one is that was AWA, but he was still going to Portland. Okay. So even in the territories, you could go to a certain territory for, a couple of months or whatever. But then when your time was up, you would go back to your original territory. It's just so that the storylines didn't get sour. Unlike today, where you literally just have to either go WWE or AEW. So, a little bit about that, that interview was really good, I thought. And yeah, you could go back and forth between territories. So at this time, that was 1988. So around that time, basically Curt was he was in the AWA, but yet he would defend the title all in pretty much every territory. As anyone knows, if you know any history about the AWA, unfortunately, well, I know Portland had closed up beforehand. So you had Portland actually closing up in like 91 or something. And then I remember seeing Buddy Rose on, I think it was Wrestling Challenge, or it might have been Superstars or something. But I mean, they had Buddy Rose wrestling over in WWE when, of course, Portland um, closed up. Sorry about that. So I definitely think that that was a great interview. That was he was already a heel, or at least he was starting to be a heel, but he was sort of a heel in 87, and that's when he sort of started to change. Like his hair was getting lighter now, and he was starting to become that heel that everyone, he has to get heat somewhere, so that's where he gets heat. So this one is a great one. I think Curt looks extravagant in this one. I love the shirt because it's my favorite color. The other thing I will say is Curt was definitely made for jeans, guys. He was made for jeans, okay? He looks so sharp in this interview, and it's just like um he talks about, getting the belt back. I'm guessing the Grappler took it like he won. So, um I'll go ahead, unmute and play.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the heavyweight championship belt of the AWA. And I'm standing in the Portland Sports Arena right now after the toughest night of wrestling that Portland, Oregon has ever seen. But let me tell you exactly what is going down here. Now, tonight there was some outside interference. and the boot came into play with the grappler, his orthopedic, so-called orthopedic boot that he wears. Well, I know what it feels like, see, because he kicked me in the stomach, and I still haven't gotten my breath. Now, let me tell you something, Grappler, what you've done here. This is the place where I got my start, Portland, Oregon. And the people here have been behind me since I started my career. And I came back to Portland for the big celebration to defend the heavyweight championship belt. And as I got here, and the packed house, there wasn't an empty seat in the building, they all came to see one thing, what professional wrestling is all about and what the championship stands for. And I carry that championship belt from corner to corner of the United States of America. And let me tell you something, Grappler, you call yourself a wrestler, you call yourself a man. Well, they've taken the heavyweight championship belt and they've held it up. Right now, there is not a heavyweight champion. Do you know what that does to me? That ruins all my obligations from the Middle East to Japan throughout the United States. I now cannot wrestle as the heavyweight champion of the world until Stanley Blackburn and the championship committee make a decision. Well, let me tell you something, Grappler. The decision has been made, and the match is going to take place right here in Portland, Oregon. And I am going to tell you something. You've taken something away from me that I love very much. That belt brings me prestige, it brings me money, and it brings me a lot of pride. And I will tell the people of Portland, Oregon, and the Pacific Northwest that when this match does take place, oh yeah, Curt Hennig will remain the heavyweight champion of the world, no matter what.
Okay. So, I hate to cut it short because I just don't want it to go, but I'm just gonna pause that for a second. So, excuse me. Um, sorry about that. So let me just say that this um, give me one second. Okay, sorry about that. But this interview here or this promo here, the only thing I didn't like about it is you can hear people moving and rustling around in the background, and it's hard to hear Kurt talk. You can also sort of hear like a conversation going on. The only thing that's the only gripe I have about this interview is that literally you can hear people in the background moving stuff. It sounded like, they were doing it at a time when I don't know. It's like it's so weird. Like it's like they were wrestling around and moving and getting the ring together. You know what I mean? Like you can hear that in the background, just someone like, and you can hear talking. It's not really that's not professional, and that's not how a promo should sound. I wonder if like Kurt ever like heard that. So yeah, that was weird. So we're gonna go ahead. And I knew this was gonna be a commercial here. Okay. So we're gonna back that up. Okay, so a little bit about this one. Like I said, that was my only gripe about the other one. The other one was really, really good. I didn't like the fact that there was background noise. It just sounded like really unprofessional. And it kind of like just they were just doing it on a whim. You know what I mean? Like they said, okay, Kurt, we're gonna set up the ring now. You go ahead and do your promos. So you hear this loud banging and other than that, it was a great, promo, I thought. It really conveyed Kurt's emotions about having, the belt. Like I said, he said it brought him, pride, prestige, money. So of course he would want to get it back because, it makes him look very good. So, all right. So this one is a good one. He has the belt. I think this is 87. I'm not sure. I think this might be 87 or 88. I don't remember. Give me one second. Okay. So, in this one, I believe this is 87, but don't quote me on that. So, this one is Kurt got an award for the most improved wrestler. I don't really know what that's all about, but basically, Kurt tells them to shove it. Most improved wrestler, I'm not really sure why that is or why he exactly was the improved wrestler. I don't even know what exactly they're talking about there. But I love this promo because, I mean, he's like, "Just give it to Ric Flair, give it to Hulk Hogan," that kind of thing.
Hello, everyone. This is Pro Wrestling Illustrated senior editor Bill Apter. Over 15,000 fans voted the AWA champion, Curt Hennig, this year, 1987's most improved
87.
wrestler. Right now, here he is to accept the plaque, Curt Hennig. Curt, congratulations.
First of all, hang on to that for a second. You're handing me an award that says for the most improved wrestler of the year. I'm the man that beat Nick Bockwinkel. I'm the man that put the legend out.
That's
Nick
right.
Bockwinkel was the greatest wrestler in the world. Not even Hulk Hogan, not even Andre the Giant could beat Nick Bockwinkel. But old cool Curt, he slid right in and beat him. And now you're trying to hand me an award for the most improved wrestler in the world today.
Well, this is the fans voted you most
Well, that
improved
just
wrestler.
shows you how stupid them fans actually are. See, I'm the greatest athlete in the world. You should be giving that award to someone like Mitch Snowbody or Alan West. You could give it to Ric Flair for all I care. I'm the greatest wrestler in the world. I don't have any room in my trophy case for that, and I want the world to know this. You're looking at the best going down right now in this sport. And if you don't believe it, all you got to do is come down and take a look. And for me to accept an award like this, of this low improved wrestler of the world, I'm the best wrestler in the world, and you can take that award and you can give it to Ric Flair, or you can give it to Andre the Giant, or you can give it to Hulk Hogan, because I don't need awards. My closet is full of awards.
For pro wrestling.
Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah, see, I just love it how basically he I don't need that award, blah blah blah. I'm sorry, hang on. I'm sorry, I don't want to cough in your all's ears. So, from time to time, you'll probably hear a few seconds of no air, and that'll just be me coughing. So what I love about those promos is literally, yeah, that one was one of my favorites too because he's like, just give it to Hulk Hogan, give it to Ric Flair. Um, but you could also hear Kurt's accent when he says R. It's like those hard R's. You know what I'm talking about? So you can tell his accent, that Minnesota accent on those hard R's, and always he says always or something like that. Um, in one of the other ones I have. So, um, really good promos there. They were both AWA and Portland. They were talking about well, more Portland. The first one was from Portland. I have a few more that I can show probably next week. We'll do some more promos that he did in Portland and in AWA. I love these. There's also one I love to look at. We can look at and we can do like little things like that. We can just show some promos that he did. Um, you know, he did, excuse me, a lot of promos. So, I mean, take your pick, whichever one you like, right? Um, but now let's move on to something I saw on X, and I really wasn't paying much attention. I just saw that it had the name Curt Hennig there. And apparently, well, I'm gonna let the gentleman talk about it, but it's definitely something that I think needs to be talked about because I have never heard this before. Of course, I back in the day, my mom and I had dial-up internet, so we didn't have very good internet, a source of internet. So dial-up was very slow. Um, and we had basically, well, we had dial-up, and um, I never really watched the online stuff that they had for WCW because, again, I think you had to pay money, and I was only 11, 12, 13 at the time. So, but in 1999, apparently, Curt was on a internet, um, I'm not sure what it was, like some kind of internet WCW internet live thing, and told a story about him and an actor that he met in an airport. Like I said, I'm gonna let the gentleman's name is Tom Green. I'm gonna let him explain better than me, and then we'll talk about it. But I did ask him if I could use his information, and he said so I got permission from him. All right. So I'm going to do this and that. And what you're going to see here is this is my ex. I'll show it to you then afterwards, but so this is the story that I was told or saw on X, and it's really quite an interesting tale. So here we go.
The following story allegedly happened between Curt Hennig and Steven Seagal, with only one known first-hand telling, but its underground message board mythos is legendary. I'm Tom Green, and this is a WCW Deep Cut. According to Hennig, in a September 1999 episode of the WCW Live Internet Show, he introduced himself to Seagal at an airport while on tour with WCW. After Hennig mentioned that he was a wrestler, Seagal began to squeeze Hennig's hand as some sort of macho test. But Hennig squeezed back much harder. Then Seagal attempted to put Hennig in an Aikido-style wrist lock. As large as Hennig was, he easily powered out and squeezed Seagal's arm, causing him to bow to his knees. Hennig let go before any injury was caused as he left the scene. Later, Hennig did return and apologize, but not before saying that Judo Gene LaBelle, who had a similar run-in with Seagal, had said hi.
Okay. So yes, this was the story that I heard, and like I said, I did ask permission to use this. Just wanted to go to my profile here. This is my ex profile. If you do need, my handle is here. It is Curt Podcast 0420. So that's just Curt Podcast and then 0420. If you do want to follow me, you can follow me. I have some stuff here, of course, about Curt. Um, so if you do want to follow that, I know it's a shameless plug. I'm sorry, but um anyway, I think that the story is quite amusing to those who have heard it. Like when I first heard it, I was very like shocked. I like this one. A really cool picture of Curt there. But yeah, this is my ex. Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing there. Um, so yeah, when I heard this story, I was kind of shocked because I was like, "Really?" So, Curt met Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal tried to squeeze his hand. Like, I mean, no offense to Steven Seagal, but he's a wuss. He sounds like a real wuss, like, he sees a wrestler and he's like he always has to prove that he's better than that wrestler. I'm not really sure why he would feel the need to prove himself or try to prove that he's better than a wrestler. I mean, you're an actor, dude. You don't do stunts. You don't do your own stunts. And then I remember something where, like, I saw something about, Steven Seagal, no, you don't show him running in movies because he runs like a lady. He runs like a girl, basically. Um, Interesting that they would, say that, but this is a very interesting story and quite disturbing. I mean, I wasn't much for Steven Seagal. I'll say that much. That I'm more for people who can actually act. And that's not a lot. I mean, I think my favorite actor, he passed in '85, and that was Yul Brynner. Um, so I mean, I love Yul Brynner. I love The King and I. He was in a movie called The Journey with Deborah Carr. And then also I like his, of course, The Ten Commandments. And then he also did another movie with Charlton Heston, and it was called The Buccaneer. And Charlton Heston played Andrew Jackson, and he played Jean Lafitte, who was prominent within the War of 1812. So he helped us against the British and stuff. Him and his pirates. So it's a really cool movie. If you like to check that out, just look up The Buccaneer. Very good movie about pirates and the War of 1812 and stuff. Um, but anyway, getting back to people who can actually act, I wouldn't put Steven Seagal in that realm. Um, I've seen, like, clips of his movies, but I wouldn't say, like, they were my favorite. In fact, I like Jackie Chan better because I like Rush Hour. I always thought those movies were funny. Um, so I can't say that I'm not really sure where or why Steven Seagal would act like that, unless, like I said, unless he was a wuss and always trying to prove himself, maybe trying to prove that his manhood was bigger? I don't know. Um, even though I know we're on Rumble, I still have to kinda watch because my audio is gonna be on YouTube, and the less editing I have to do, the better everybody is. So, anyway, to elaborate on this story, I was shocked when I first heard it. I couldn't believe, like, Steven Seagal would act like that. Um I mean, I can, but I can't. It's like, why would he act like that? And Kurt was kind of cool about it. He did apologize. I mean, he was the bigger man than Steven Seagal. That should tell you something. That I mean, you take no punches, but you don't take any crap. You know, you harm none, but you take no crap. So and see, this is the misconception. I mean, look at WCW in 2000 and 2001 when it definitely started to go downhill. You had David Arquette, who was a actor, not a wrestler, and never had wrestled in his life, but yet he had the WCW belt because Vince Russo thought it would be fun. Uh, First of all, you just literally disrespected everybody who had that belt beforehand by making an actor, someone who never wrestled in his life, made him champ. Yeah, that was a slap in the face to everybody else. Um, so I don't understand exactly why anyone would take these people seriously. I mean, I mean, Kurt did his own stunts. He did his own stunts every single day. It's called wrestling. Did Steven Seagal do any stunts that, I mean, that he actually did? I mean, Jackie Chan did his own stunts, and he got hurt a lot. He got injured a lot. Wrestlers take bumps all the time. I don't see Steven Seagal taking bumps in his movies. So, what exactly was he trying to prove there, other than his manhood was bigger? And obviously, Kurt proved him wrong. Um, and just being the bigger person there, just being the bigger man to actually come back and apologize to someone who tried to hurt you, to prove what? That he was tougher? I mean, I don't I guess I don't understand, like, what Steven Seagal was trying to get at. I mean, are you trying to prove that you're somehow better than wrestlers? When you're just an actor, you don't even do your own stunts. Where these wrestlers are taking bumps and doing stunts every day, or, every night. So I'm kind of flabbergasted at the thought that Kurt would actually be the bigger. Well, I know Kurt was the bigger man because he was just an all around good person and good man. Um, what I don't understand is why Steven Seagal would do that, but let's go over it. So, apparently, Kurt said this on a online special for WCW. Um, Basically, he said that he met Steven Seagal in an airport and, introduced himself, and when Kurt said, "Oh, by the way, I'm a wrestler," this must have been 97 or 98 because he's telling this story in 1999. So, probably 98-ish, I want to say, that, or like 97, 98 that this happened. Um, and apparently he said hello. And as soon as he said he was a wrestler, Steven Seagal started to squeeze his hand and Kurt squeezed back. Cause I mean, it's almost like, kid stuff. It's always like, "I'm gonna prove I'm stronger than you. Ha, ha, ha." Like you're on the playground. "Oh, I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you." But again, I mean, we get to the point where literally, I mean, Kurt was the bigger man. He proved he was the bigger man. So I guess because um what am I trying to say here? So what trying to say is I guess I don't understand like why you would act like that just because he's a wrestler. Like what you think you're big and bad? You're an actor. Well, anyway, so Kurt squeezed back, right? And like I said, this is playground stuff. This is literally playground stuff that Steven Seagal did. And at least Kurt was the bigger man and actually apologized. You didn't see Steven Seagal doing that. But you also saw Kurt rubbing in his face that a trainer or whatever said hi and had a similar encounter with Steven Seagal. I mean that's childish stuff, man. Get over it, Steven Seagal. If you want to be a child, go back to elementary school. Don't. This is such crap. I mean, kudos to Kurt for standing up for himself, but then also coming back and being the bigger man and apologizing. I'm sure if you asked Steven Seagal, he probably would deny it because, he's a wuss. Um, I mean, he acted like a child here. At least Kurt was the bigger man. So, anyway, he squeezes his hand and then, because I don't know if Steven Seagal is known for jujitsu or whatever, some kind of martial arts, but he tries to put a martial Kurt in a martial arts move, and it didn't work because Kurt was bigger. I mean, like, he was muscular. He was bigger than Steven Seagal. And Steven Seagal hasn't been relevant for years. I mean, does anyone remember any movies that Steven Seagal played in 2000 or any movies that have been recent with Steven Seagal in it? I mean, he's acting like a freaking child. Ha ha, I can beat you in a test of strength on the playground. I mean, that's exactly what this is, guys. This is not how adults work. I mean, this is not how adults treat each other, Steven Seagal. And how dare you? Just because you're not a wrestler doesn't mean that the wrestlers are wusses or they're like children and they can't beat you in a fight. The one person I would not mess with was Curt Hennig. Another person, Rick Rude, because you wouldn't be here much longer. Those guys were tough as nails because they were from Minnesota. That Minnesota crew was really tough, guys. I'm not making that stuff up. Really, really tough. You didn't mess with them, or no one would ever see you again. It, this is not. He acted like he was a macho man and he was going to prove it. No offense to Randy Savage, because Savage was actually much better of a person than Steven Seagal. So, yeah, when I saw this, I was literally shocked. I was a little surprised, but not really that shocked. Because Curt is a stand-up gentleman, and he literally proved that literally he is the better man. And shame on Steven Seagal. Because like I said, uh when the jujitsu move didn't work, then Curt squeezed him and Steven Seagal went on his knees anyway. So it's like he was playing chicken with Curt and Curt won. Yeah, like I said, don't mess with Curt Hennig. Now, Curt did apologize, like I said, or like he said. So he was the better man there because I wouldn't have. Kurt's nicer than I would have been. I would have been like, I don't know what you're trying to prove here, but you're acting like a freaking child and you need to stop it because this is not how men or adults act when they're in airports and they meet a wrestler. So I would have been a lot worse. I probably would have done a lot worse to Steven Seagal. And Curt didn't want a scene. That wasn't Curt's thing. He just didn't want a scene. So that's why he kind of left the scene because he didn't want to injure the man, but he also didn't want uh Steven Seagal to call attention to them because, knowing a little child, Steven Seagal would have been, "Oh, police, police." So, I wouldn't doubt it that Curt was probably more worried that he was gonna get, thrown in jail for assault or something. Um, I don't think that Steven Seagal is that much of a wuss to tell a cop, "Oh, a wrestler beat the crap out of me," that kinda thing. Or at least, made me say uncle and get to my knees. I mean, that would make Steven Seagal look like a wuss. I mean, let's face it. He basically acted like a freaking child. And I have no love lost for Steven Seagal. Like I said, I do not like Steven Seagal. I cannot stand the man. So, take that as you will. um Anyway, so yeah, I actually saw that, like I said, on X. I saw it on X, and I was literally shocked. I mean, I was like, Kurt taking out actors. That's great. No, I don't like any actors now. I think the only actor I like is, well, I do like Goldie Hawn and I like Kurt Russell, but it was an '80s movie and it's called Overboard. So I only like those 2 because of the movie Overboard. I really like that movie. So, if Kit Cabela's watching this, I would love to watch it on movie night if we ever did that one time. Uh, anyway, so we're gonna get to our main event now. And you can leave comments below. Everything is in the description field. But if you would like to leave a comment about the Steven Seagal Curt Hennig thing, feel free. I don't censor anything unless it's spam. I don't really like spammers, so um or like trolls. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but be respectful, please. Uh anyway, why we're here today or why we're here this week, and it's to see literally the match between Curt Hennig and Lex Luger. This would be after, I don't think we're at WWE3 yet. So the pay-per-view WWE3, we're not there yet. I'm not sure when that was. It was sometime in November, but this is November 3rd. So if you want to watch along with me, that's fine. You can absolutely watch along with me. You don't if you're on Rumble. If you're on YouTube, you're more than welcome to also watch along, but you'll only hear the audio part. You will not hear uh you will not be able to see the video. So if you want to watch along on YouTube, you're more than welcome to. I will have to cut some things out because there is some music. So during the music part, will be all cut out. And on Rumble, it will not be cut out. So if you're on YouTube listening, you want to hop over to Rumble. Link is in the description field for my Rumble page. You're more than welcome to watch along then instead of watching along. If you want to bring it up on yours, you're absolutely fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. You can watch along that way. If you're on YouTube, but if you're on Rumble, get ready because we're going to have a special treat for you. Okay. So let me get that fired up here. Okay. So here's my screen. Okay. Okay. So, we're as you can see here, it's WCW Monday Nitro season 3 episode 44 and it's November 3rd, 1997. I am 1 hour 43 minutes and 45 seconds in. So you can go ahead and hit play now if you are on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the WCW Monday Nitro main event. Once again, WCW takes on NWO in a grudge match. This is for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Are you ready?
Now some of you will hear this part, some of you won't.
Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the millions watching around the world and the thousands in attendance here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, they were in
Ladies and
Philly.
gentlemen,
They were in Philly.
Let's get ready to.
Last year, Luger, although he did not win it, won the last 3 in and proved that anyone, regardless of size or weight, can be racked.
And Luger
Oh,
certainly
boy.
has to be considered one of the favorites going into World War III this year. And then who knows what happens after that? Could it be Luger against Hogan again?
Now Luger's beaten Hogan. He's had him up in that torture rack. I mean, he's made Hogan yell and scream.
What about Luger against Sting, though? I mean, these guys have been together for years, business partners outside the ring.
I think Luger would love the opportunity, even though he's friends with Sting, to get back in. And you know,
Yeah, but look at what is at stake. You don't have any friends when it comes to this. Look what's at stake.
yeah, you know, and you're right. The battle with Hogan and Sting is going to loom as not only the biggest world heavyweight title match ever. It's going to be crossroads for our sport. It's going to be loom as the biggest single match.
Come on, Curt.
Two different ways, two different outlooks on our sport. It's finally going to come down to 2 men, the 2 top wrestlers in the world.
I wonder
Come on,
if Curt
Curt.
Hennig is going to be able to concentrate on Lex Luger in this matchup. We heard the Nature Boy Ric Flair earlier tonight promise that if Hennig showed his face, that he would catch him before Nitro was over.
Yeah, you wonder exactly what's going through Flair's mind right now.
And your point?
Waiting, or if he's going to attack the beginning, or maybe that Flair is just going to watch this and concern himself with the no disqualification return bout for the U.S. title that he has coming up.
And we did that match.
Remember, if Luger wins, it'll be Luger and Flair for the U.S. title coming up at World War III. Welcome back. The match continues for the
Kurt,
United States Heavyweight
don't worry about the crowd.
2 of the most remarkable athletes in the world. And 2 men are going to be involved in World War III, as you know, on the 23rd of this month, the 23rd of November. Hennig having a little problem with our ringside fans.
Kurt, don't worry about the fans. They're from Philly.
Luger will get his attention.
And Hennig used the opportunity to pull down on the neck of Lex Luger, and now going to put him all the way up to Broad Street here.
Looks like it was part of his strategy.
It certainly was, and I've seen this man operate before. When he shifts gears, nobody's going to stop him. He's ready right now. He's not scared of the muscles on Luger. He's not scared of that man's reputation. He's got his own reputation. He wants everybody to know it.
That's right.
You better remember that, pal.
Let's remind you one more time before time slips away here, of course, that we will be on the air next week, and the NWO will be in full force, including, I mean, every member of the NWO, including the man
We'll watch along to that next week.
The Giant, we all know, is the real big man. He won World War III last year when he was a member of the NWO.
I bet there's going to be new members of the NWO.
You think that's it for next week?
Rick Rude will come in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, he'll be the NWO.
Pack reunion next week.
We will be in Memphis, Tennessee for that big event. Meanwhile, here.
I wonder if Sting's going to be there next week.
I don't care about Sting.
Maybe so. And I know how Sting is. At least I think I know how Sting is. He's a very courageous, tough athlete.
Yay, Kurt. Come on, Kurt.
He would be ill-advised to be anywhere the NWO would.
Knowing Bishop and Hogan and the way they operate, I wouldn't be surprised to see Elvis in a jumpsuit with NWO on it. Well,
right?
You never know.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much.
Oh, ouch.
Snapmare takeover.
Snap neck takeover.
That was a running snapmare.
Cover here, 1, 2, we got it. And Hennig almost got the win that time on Lex Luger. Hennig back to the attack. Right now, how many times have we seen this, guys, that Luger is at the mercy of someone here? Hennig right now having his way with the total package here.
Well, he can't get too cocky with Luger. He can't walk around and kick him in the head with the boots and shove him around a little bit. And he knows that. The man's been a champion, too. He's got to take this big man out as quick as he can.
Kind of a surprise, though, that Hennig has just been in total control of Luger.
Head first. And Luger back down into heat here.
Yeah, come on, Luger.
The fact is, these great athletes each and every week come out here on the show and wrestle, put their careers on the line. Anytime you go in the ring against a member of the NWO, your career is on the line.
Right.
And the fact that they're doing this when, for many of them, their biggest night comes up on November 23rd. It's amazing that the resiliency
November
of the athletes,
23rd.
that they continue to bounce back each and every week. Think about Diamond Dallas Page wrestling with rib problems.
Torn cartilage in the ribs.
Cartilage in the ribs. Continuing, as he said earlier, to wrestle against Savage and Hogan the very next night with torn cartilage in the ribs. It just exemplifies what it takes to be a champion. And we got a 2 count. How many other injuries do we have in this sport that wrestlers just really kind of just put out of their mind, shut out, don't tell anyone about?
Look at Chris Jericho coming back after the injury at Halloween Havoc to wrestle 24 hours later on Nitro.
Well, when you stand in that ring and you introduce, you look across that ring and see your opponent, the bell rings, you know you got to do it. Nothing else to do.
Luger starts to mount a comeback. Maybe he's back up to his feet.
Ooh, no
I really
thanks.
think the announcement, the signing of the contract that happened on Tuesday.
No thanks.
Island really just sparked the entire wrestling world. Really just
Oh,
sent
jeez.
a shockwave, if I can use that term, through WCW. And I really think, as a result, the athletes, tag team single competition, are really picking up the intensity because of it.
Well, now can WCW take advantage of that momentum that they've gained now, or is the NWO going to put a halt to that momentum next Monday?
That's one of the reasons they're going to be here to stop it
In full force next Monday, but I still think we got a step, maybe 2 steps ahead of now. I don't see anybody at WCW really worried.
Come on, Curt.
As they're worried at the NWO.
No, caught him, but Luger with that big bionic forearm. He turned Hennig inside out, and it could be time for the torture rack.
We may see a new champion here.
That's right.
That's a move.
Right now.
Just for YouTube, that's a move.
Hennig holding the rope. He holds on to
Well,
Luger.
now watch Randy Anderson here. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then he goes, "Are you okay, Curt?" Did you see him do this like against Kurt's back? And then he's like, "Are you okay?" Like kind of like whispering, "Are you okay?" Because they all tumbled out, and of course, I mean, he had to make sure Curt was okay, that he didn't injure him.
But Flair has seen enough, and Flair has come in. And now you hear the bell is sounding. Hennig goes for the eyes, and that stops Ric Flair momentarily. Hennig back in.
Oh, jeez. Really, Ric Flair? Really?
He's got him wrecked. He's got him wrecked.
And Flair attacks him, and now the referee calls for the
I
bell.
mean, go away, Flair. Go away.
But right now, that's official. The referee is called.
Don't you just ever, like, go away?
But you can understand why. His hatred for Curt Hennig. And he's chasing Hennig out. He's not finished with Hennig. And there's Luger behind Flair. Fans, we got to go. We're out of time.
All right, you can hit pause there. I'm going to cancel that. But so this just goes on for like a couple more seconds. Excuse me. So a couple more seconds it goes off on. Basically it's Ric Flair and stuff, and they kind of argue or whatever. Sorry about that. So yeah, that was the match between Luger and Curt Hennig. And if my mic if it sounds scratchy, I'm sorry. I don't know why it does that. So it was a great match, I thought. Of course, you had the interference from Ric Flair. I don't really like that. It's like, Flair, just go away. Just seriously, just go away. But thank you for joining me. I do think that match was really good, at least on Curt's part. And I love it how it was in Philly. It it was in Philly, of all places to be. So so for my YouTube people, you will probably hear a shorter version, because I'm going to have to take some stuff out, obviously, so I don't get any copyright strikes. But for you Rumble people, you guys will actually hear, and see everything. So there's no cutting that I have to do there, or editing, I guess. But both of you will hear shameless plugs. So I'm going to actually do the shameless plug thing. And I will actually have that audio. So there will be like pictures to that audio. Okay. For the YouTube people, you guys will only hear audio. If you do decide that you want to change that, that's fine. Um, you can hop over to Rumble and check us out and actually watch along to me watching that Luger video. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. And I hope you enjoyed listening along or watching along to the Lex Luger Curt Hennig match. And that's it for me. From here on out, you're going to hear Shameless Plugs, and I'll see you next week. Next week, we are going to do the Canada, where they come out and Curt sings "Oh Canada." And then we are going to go into his match. I forgot who he wrestles next week, but or the next week. So it'll be November 10th, I think. 1997. I'm not really sure. I don't remember exactly who he wrestles at the time. But we'll do that. We'll do the "Oh Canada" thing where they all come out with Canadian flags. And of course, this would be right after the Montreal screw job, where they Vince screws Brett. And then I mean, because Larry Sabisco makes this comment, "Oh my gosh, did they buy Canada?" I'm like, you can't buy a whole country. Are you kidding me? Anyway, so we'll watch that next week. That will be definitely next week. And like I said, for all you people on YouTube, if you want to stay on YouTube, that's fine. You can always watch along to me. Now, I don't have commercials because I am a premium member. So if you are not a premium member of the streaming service that I use, then I mean it's only like $9 a month. And you can get all kinds of specials for that, and they last like a year or something. So in December, I'll probably look for another like deal or special that they have. So it's really cheap right now. I'd say if you can lock that into a special or some kind of discount or something, you can definitely do that. And that was a shameless plug for the streaming service. But pretty much that's it's for me. I don't like watching commercials. I would rather just have to pay for it, but I only pay for this streaming service because it does have the wrestling that I grew up with, and I prefer not to uh, have commercials in there. It's kind of redundant. So, but if you have commercials, that's fine. And you're watching along to it, you can just catch right up with us watching along. If you are watching along on your end, and we'll end up at the same place, hopefully. So, all you'd have to do is pause that. But next week, we are going to watch along to the Canadian stuff when they come out with the Canadian flags. And then also Curt sings "Oh Canada." For you Rumble guys, you guys will hear that. Unfortunately, on YouTube, you guys will not hear that. So you will also get his wrestling match that night, and then I have a few more promos that I'd like to go over, so we definitely will go over those. But I thought this was a pretty good match, guys. I just didn't like Lex Luger, and I actually have a picture of when they come together at the beginning there. Um, I have a picture of them, and Curt is smiling. So I wonder if Luger was like telling him a joke or something, and Curt kind of smiled about it. Or maybe they were just calling spots, they were just calling out moves they wanted to do, and Curt just kind of laughed about it. So which is fine. That's absolutely fine to do as well. So sorry about that. I thank you for joining me, and now you will hear some shameless plugs. So everyone have a great night, and I'll catch you on the flip side, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, guys, this is where we're going to do some shameless plugs here. So the first shameless plug, if you could please go over to my other show, which is Black Magic Talk. I will put the links in all the description fields. If you could just kind of browse it, if you are not only a wrestling fan, but you like Wicca or paganism, and you'd like to learn more about it. We just did some recent episodes. So if you'd like to hop over there, just click the link in the description field. If you would like to give to the Black Magic Talk Patreon. That link will be in the description field. And again, if you would like to have a tarot reading on the show, you can DM me on X. My link for that X will be in the description field. If you would like to do one off the show, you can also just DM me and I will give you my rate. My co-host is Matt Collins. He can also give you a tarot reading on the show or off the show. If it's on the show, all you would have to do is become a Patreon supporter for $5 a month. You get all kinds of perks. And again, we can let you know when you can come on the show. And if you'd like to do it off the show, Matt can definitely give you his rating for doing tarot. The next shameless plug I would like to do is, of course, Pro Wrestling Talk will always be on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is scheduled to change, but Angel and I will let you know on the Wrestling X. So if you would like to DM us at any time, me and Angel, my link will be in the description field for my Wrestling X, and that is for Pro Wrestling Talk and also for this podcast. Curt Hennig was the best, changed my mind. If you would like to give to the Patreon, I have for Curt Hennig was the best, changed my mind. Again, you can go and look in the description field. It should be there. I have $1, $3, $5, and $10. The other show is just $1, $5, and $10. Or no, I'm sorry, it's $3, $5, and $10. I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But if you could give, thank you in advance. If you'd like to ask any questions for pro wrestling or Black Magic Talk, you are free to direct message me on X or Angel, my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday, unless it is scheduled to change, but we will definitely let you know beforehand. So, of course, this show, I'm going to do a shameless plug for this show. Again, $1, $3, $5, and $10 you can contribute on Patreon. If you would like to give on Cash App, I will take donations on Cash App, but direct message me on X if you would like to do that, and I will give you my handle. So if you have any questions like about the show or any technical questions, you can always direct message me on my X, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. The next shameless plug I would like to do is for Hardlands Media. Kit Cabello, someone I call a good friend of mine. Please check him out. He is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central, and that would be 10 p.m. Eastern. So 9 a.m. Central, he is Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, depending on when you can catch him in a good mood for a Saturday brunch. If he does do Saturday brunch, I usually am sleeping or at work, so but check him out. He's really good on politics, and I have the pleasure of calling him friend. Some more shameless plugs. If you could also subscribe to Angel in the Afternoon. He does a great job on politics as well. And that's Angel in the Afternoon. And he's usually on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday. That is also scheduled to change. If you have any questions about it, he'll usually let you know. And he will definitely, you can direct message him if you need to get a hold of him. The last one is Deconstructing. His name is Dave. I really recommend him too. He has a little podcast on YouTube. All you'd have to look up is Deconstructing Topics, and he does some really good stuff. I really recommend you guys check him out. Subscribe to everybody I just said here, and check them out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.